This is a 3-minute revision film on Samba and Preludio, one of the new GCSE set works. So Samba is a Brazilian dance piece of music, M is in, and Prelude is a short piece of music which was traditionally associated with Chopin, a romantic piano composer. So this piece is interesting because we have an acoustic bass which is played by Esperanza. She also sings it as well. There is also an acoustic guitar. Esperanza's voice has got what we call a low tessitura. It's quite low in pitch, particularly for a female singer. The acoustic bass guitar is interesting because we don't often see that. Now, because it's acoustic, that means that we don't get the dynamic range because it's not plugged into an amplifier. So it starts with a 3-bar introduction on the acoustic bass. This is interesting. Normally things are in 4-bar phrases. It starts in 4/4 and then we have 1 bar of 5/4. In this opening bar, we see mordents and we see double stopping and a glissando on the acoustic bass, which are techniques associated with it. We start verse 1 at bar 4 with a broken chord idea from the voice. And again, it's quite syllabic. She's singing in Portuguese. For verse 1, she's just accompanied by the bass guitar. The rhythm is interesting. We've got triplets, semi-quavers, use of syncopation, dotted rhythms, and again, the tessitura is quite low. Throughout this whole piece, there's lots of extended chords, lots of jazz chords, lots of ninths, and lots of sevenths, okay? This is what gives it the jazz element of this piece. As we go through, we then get to a bossa nova section. Now, when we get to the bossa nova section, this is where we come into a firm tempo for the first time. The bossa nova rhythm is... We then have verse 2. At verse 2, this is when the acoustic guitar comes in, and we have a 3-part texture. So we begin monophonic. Verse 1, we have a 2-part texture, and by the time we get to verse 2, we're in a 3-part texture. Again, it's very syllabic. Generally, the melody line is quite by step. Okay, as we go through, we get to verse 3. Interestingly, again, we're back to a 2-part texture, just the voice, just the bass, okay? And what we see is we see augmentation. So we see the idea at the beginning coming in the bass line. So the rhythm is now augmented. Don't forget, we've also got, just before verse 3, a really interesting instrumental section where the guitar does a soloist. There's lots of extended techniques there, and it's worth you looking in your score on page 89 at all the different sections we've got there. We then have a coda before going back. When we finish with a 6/4 bar and then a 4/4 bar. The 4/4 bar, the final bar, is in B minor, which is the opening key. There's your 3 minutes.